Hello, welcome to another hardware review here on the RetroCore channel, and in this video we're going to see if a reasonably priced tablet can be made into a really good emulation machine. So the tablet of choice is the MediaPad M5 Lite, and this is the 8-inch model, and the reason I chose this one is because, as I said, it's reasonably priced and it has Harman sound, so it should sound pretty good as well. So I thought we may as well do an unboxing before we get into it. So as you can see on the back of the box, there's absolutely nothing. Very plain box here. And one thing which is also a bonus about this tablet is you can put a SIM card in it. So you could use it as a phone, I guess. Okay, so here's the tablet itself. Let's take out the slipcase. Alright, there you see. Standard tablet fur. I'm not too impressed by the actual screensaver on it being scratched to death. It's not very good quality control in their factory, is it? But the tablet itself, yeah, it feels quite nice. It's got a nice finish to it. Camera on the back there, and let's see, on the side we got the place where we put our SIM card in, and on this side we've got a couple of holes there. I'm not sure what they're for. And we got the power switch and the volume rocker. So let's just hit that power switch and see if it's got any juice. Yes, it has. Okay, powered by Android, obviously. And as we can now see that the screen is on, we get a better idea of the screen to body ratio. So the actual screen is here. Just notice it's got a front-facing camera as well. So yeah, that's your screen to body ratio. Nothing amazing, but you know, good enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can actually use it as a phone, yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get this all set up later on and get some ROMs and things installed on that. But while we're here, let's take a look at what else we get in the box. So we got a SIM tool here, and I'm guessing this is going to be some paperwork. Yes, warranty card, booklet, the usual thing. We got a USB, micro USB charging cable there, so it's not USB-C, micro USB. And over this side we've got the charging brick, just a standard, normal charging brick really, nothing too special there. And no earphones. Anything underneath the rest of the packing? Nope, that seems to be about the lot. Yeah, that doesn't come out, it's actually glued into the box. Alright, so let's get this thing set up and get some ROMs onto it and emulators and see how well it performs. Okay, so we're back and we've got a holder here for the tablet. Put the tablet in there. Nice. And we've got the stereo mic in the background because this tablet does actually have stereo speakers on the back and they work pretty well. Surprisingly very good. And we're going to be controlling everything with the 8-bit SN30 Pro, a really good controller. Okay, so let's switch it on. And what I've done is I've put some emulators onto this device. And we're not going to be doing anything like Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, PC Engine, 8-bit systems, anything like that, because we know 100% they are going to work perfectly fine. They always do, so there's no point in featuring them. So what we're going to do is take a look at some of the higher up systems. So we've got PlayStation. Oh, it's actually come on. I didn't want to actually go into it there. So we've got PlayStation, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, Nintendo Wii and GameCube, Nintendo 64, PSP, bit of arcade action, and some more Nintendo 64 here. So these are the higher up emulators which don't normally work on Chinese mobile gaming devices. So let's see how they work, and we'll start off with PlayStation. Okay, so we've got a couple of PlayStation games already built in. Let's start off with Capcom vs SNK Millennium Fight Pro.
Versus SNK.
Okay, so far it's looking pretty good. Remember the last Chinese handheld system we tried PlayStation on? This game didn't work at all, but it seems to be working pretty good on this tablet. As to be expected. Let's see how responsive the controls are using this 8-bit Do SN30 Pro.
Round 1. Fight.
Not bad at all. So as you can see, it's working really well. So of course the FMV intro works pretty well, as you'd expect. Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay, into the actual game. Now keep in mind that I absolutely suck at playing Tekken. I have no idea how to play it.
Round 1. Fight.
And as you can see, it looks perfect. It's running at 60 frames per second as it should. No problem whatsoever. The only problem is my gameplay skills, because I have no idea how to play Tekken. Okay, we'll take a look at one more PlayStation game, and that will be a shooter, Harmful Park. Let's take a look at that. And yeah, it's working very well, and there doesn't seem to be much lag on the controls either. Of course, there's going to be some lag because it's emulation, but it's certainly not going to be enough to hinder your enjoyment of the game. If, for example, I'm going to press fire now. There you go, see? Press fire. Oh, well, you can't see me, can you? Press fire now. See? Pretty much instantaneous. Okay, so I think we've shown there the PlayStation works perfectly fine. Oops. Let's try out a system that always had trouble during this period of emulation, the Sega Saturn.
Fight. 1. Ready. Go.
So this is Virtua Fighter 2, which runs in 480i on a real Sega Saturn, so that's high resolution than Tekken 3. And as you can see, it's running perfectly fine here. And the controls, pretty much spot on.
Fight. 1. Ready. Go.
So as you can see, Sega Saturn emulation is working very well indeed. Of course, it's not perfect. There will be games that don't work on it. For example, yesterday Guardian Heroes was working perfectly fine, but today it doesn't seem to want to work. Very strange indeed. In fact, I'll show you. Watch this. So we'll open the CD tray. Alright, and then we'll exit. Just close that. Guardian Heroes. Now yesterday this worked perfectly and I played it. But today it doesn't seem to want to run. Now, the introduction's working just fine. But just wait until we try and start the actual game and see what happens. So pressing start there, we get the title screen. Of course the music is missing because I've removed all the CD tracks. Okay, and we'll press this, go straight to story mode. And yeah, it just seems to be hanging. Now yesterday it did work, so that's a bit of a weird one. I don't know why it's not working today. Very strange indeed. But yeah, so Saturn emulation is still a little bit hit and miss, but that's not because of the tablet, that's because of the Saturn emulation itself. It's still not perfect. But when it's working, it works really well. Alright, so let's get rid of that and let's check out Sega Dreamcast. How well is Dreamcast going to work? Well, we're about to find out. Let's start off with a bit of Dead or Alive 2. Now hopefully these on-screen icons there you go, they've disappeared. Alright, let's see how well Dead or Alive 2 runs. Because this is quite... Thank you, Kasumi. I was going to say, this is quite a demanding game graphically. And as you can see here on the title screen, it's very smooth.
Get ready, fight!
Turn that down a little bit there. As you can see, this is running very, very nicely, very smooth.
Get ready, fight!
Please be safe, G. How could anyone do this?
So we're getting a bit carried away playing that there. Okay, and let's take a look at one more Dreamcast game. We'll go with Aero Dancing. We'll just let the intro run on this one and see how that works. So there you can see the FMV on Sega Dreamcast games plays just fine. Okay, let's quickly get into the game. Actually, to be honest, back in the day when this first came out, I used to play this a lot. I loved this on the Dreamcast. In fact, I had all 4 versions of this game, 4 games in this series. But I think in the West, only 2 of them got released. Okay, using analog controls here. And yeah, they work just fine. Should be able to change my view. There we go. Whoop. But as you can see, it's very smooth. It's running at 60 frames a second like it should do. Whoop. Crash. Alright. Okay, so far we have Sega Dreamcast working perfectly fine. PlayStation working perfectly fine, and Sega Saturn working perfectly fine when it wants to work, that is. So let's take a look at PSP. How is that going to run? So that's one good thing about emulators, you can actually speed through them by pressing certain button combinations. In this game I've put this trigger as the fast forward. As you can see. So you can even fast forward through the full motion video. And as you can see, the full motion video is working perfectly.
Ridge Racer, are you ready?
Alright, let's get going. It's a little bit stuttery there.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, and we're off.
3 laps to go.
Yeah, a little bit stuttery, and I noticed there was a graphical error on one of the cars there. Did you see that?
Okay, let's go.
It would be better if you used the analog controls. There you go. That's working much better now. Stuttering seems to have gone as well. Oh no, it's back again. I'm wondering if we change some of the options in the actual emulator, could we get rid of that stuttering? I think we could. I'm playing everything on default settings here, just to give you an idea of what it is like out of the box, with no tweaking whatsoever. Lovely and smooth. Looks good.
Oh, and you get refrigerator privileges. But listen, if you didn't put it in there, you don't want to eat it. Especially if it looks like cottage cheese. Ugh.
Dr. Stantz, if you'd do the honors. Proud to, Dr. Venkman.
Okay, now we're in the actual game. And as you can see, it's working nicely. It's a bit weird to control on a PSP, this game, because really it uses dual analog sticks, but PSP doesn't have those.
Full release. Now,
But yeah, as you can see, this game's not skipping frames at all. This game's working perfectly fine.
Come on,
Unlike Ridge Racer.
Nah, I've seen this one already. Know how it ends. You two have fun, though. I'll cover the elevators and escort any ladies safely to their room.
I've got a solid signal. Get over here and look at your PKE meter.
And let's try out another emulator. Let's try a little bit of Nintendo GameCube and Nintendo Wii action. How well is that gonna work? Okay, so Nintendo Wii and GameCube, instantly we can hear there are some sound issues. Alright. Okay, so let's see if we can fix that in the options. That should be fine. Emulated clock speed, perfect. CPU core. Let's try it with that one. Okay, now it's working much better, and all we did was switch off the dual CPU option. Okay, let's get into the actual game. Oh, it's still a little bit iffy there.
Select your heroes.
Unfortunately, no, it doesn't look like Wii is going to work or GameCube is going to work too well on this device. Okay, so I think we can say that, yeah, Wii and GameCube is a bit of a lost cause. That's not going to work. Let's take a look at some arcade action, see if arcade games are running on this well or not. Alright, yeah, working good. Oh, still got me. Yep, working just fine, and it's the correct aspect ratio. That was some crazy turning right there. Oh, Snow Brothers 2, I should say. What the hell is that? Jeez. Alright, so arcade games work fairly well. I should expect them to, really. Okay, now, bet you're all wondering how Nintendo 64 works on this. Well, to be fair, Nintendo 64 emulation isn't the hottest when it comes to tablets, but let's take a look. What have we got here? This should give us a nice smooth experience. And it does. Okay, so Nintendo 64 seems to be running.
Well, met up with a couple of guys and they're off tomorrow to some, I don't know, fight some war somewhere. Anyway, I'll see ya. Love you. I think you want it.
Okay, so here we are actually controlling the game. And, as you can see, it's working without stuttering all over the place.
Feel thick. Oh, that's the last time I drink it.
Now keep in mind that Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of those games that really gives emulation on Nintendo 64 quite a lot of trouble. It's a very demanding game.
Feels so good.
What's that? Hey, who are you?
Oh, hello. Can you help me?
Adventure Racing!
Okay, so let's take a look at one more Nintendo 64 game. This is Beetle Adventure Racing.
One player. Single race. Full grid.
Another game that's quite demanding on the Nintendo 64 emulation.
Nice wheels.
So let's see how it works on this device.
Welcome to Coventry Cove. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah, not too bad actually. Seems to be moving reasonably well. All the buttons are working as well, that's good. So there we are, taking a look at the MediaPad M5 Lite, a fairly reasonably priced tablet which does run high-end emulation fairly well. As you could see, we could play PlayStation portable games on here, PlayStation games, Dreamcast games, Sega Saturn games, arcade games, and even Nintendo 64 games seem to work. And of course it also is going to play all the other games from 16-bit consoles such as Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, PC Engine, although that's 8-bit, and all the 8-bit consoles as well, such as Master System, NES, your Game Gear, your Game Boy. It's going to play all those, as well as many, many more, such as home computers, such as the Amiga, ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64, all those. They are all going to work on this device. So, is buying a reasonable priced tablet good value for emulation? Well, I'd say it is, yeah. Because don't forget, this thing has a 1080p screen, which has got a higher resolution than the Nintendo Switch, which is only 720p. It also has stereo sound, mind you, so does a Switch. It has cameras built in, front-facing and back-facing. Talking of which, here's an image taken with the back-facing camera. Yeah, not the greatest image in the world, but, you know, it's not too bad. And don't forget, this thing can also play Android games. And you can use the internet on it very much easier than you can with the Switch. And also watch YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and everything else. So yeah, I think if you're after a portable gaming device for emulation, then you could do a lot worse than buying a reasonably priced tablet. Now there's a link in the video description down below for this particular tablet. It's not affiliated with me whatsoever. But yeah, if you want to go and buy one, use the link in the video description down below. Okay, until next time guys, take it easy, and we'll be back taking a look at an Android-based gaming handheld. Oh yeah. It's a little bit cheaper than the tablet as well, but is it going to be as good? I don't think it will be, but we'll take a look anyway in the next video. Until then guys, can't even speak English again. Until then guys, take it easy and keep on gaming. See ya.